You don't hear anything?
No, I can hear you.
Okay.
I don't have a microphone.
Oh.
Thank you.
All right. All right, folks, we're back, and we've got the G-Man himself here sitting in behind the board in place of our producer, Cliff, who's celebrating his 65th birthday. And I promise he don't look a day over 80. I'm telling you, the guy, hey, we wish him a happy birthday. Where did he go? Haiti? I think he went to Haiti, didn't he? Yeah, I think he went down there to uh, try out some of those cat recipes that Chris gave us. And he's down there hawking those, trying to make a little extra peso. So we hope he enjoys his trip and don't come back here with any voodoo poisoning or spells on him. Of course, you would never know because of that alcoholism that he's not suffering from, I might add. He's enjoying it, as a matter of fact. But we wish him a happy birthday and all the best wherever he may find himself lying face down at this point in time, which is what, happy hour somewhere. And we're pretty certain he's taking full advantage of it. All right, folks, we are back in it. You can bring me up on, try this knob over here.
Yep. Which one you want? This one?
Try that one.
That a little louder?
Testing. Yeah, that's a little better. Okay.
That good?
Yeah.
All right.
All right, a little bit crisper there. And we got the G-Man himself here behind the boards. As you know, he is our resident in-house go-to co-host whenever someone's out and he's available. And the G-Man will give you a little bit of background about him and how you can find and follow him. G-Man, take it away.
Yeah. So, I am a retired FBI supervisory special agent. I got out before the COVID stuff, all that J6 stuff, did my battles on the inside. So please don't call up here and try to equate me with a lot of the things that were going on with Comey and Wray and even Mueller. I have been as hypercritical of the FBI as anybody else, but I also have been protective of the people out there actually defending the Constitution on a daily basis, which is the majority of them. And I'm honored to be in here with Radio Strongman, the Blunt Force Conservative and the Radio Strongman. I'm telling you, it is like Batman and Robin have been unleashed on Jackson, Mississippi. I think we could clean it up pretty quick.
That is correct. Or at least we'll do our gosh darndest, as they would say. And so the G-Man, he'll be adding his nickels and dimes to the marketplace of ideals. But in the meantime, in between time, we want to remind you the EliteRoofer.com hotline number is 879-0002. As you know, Elite Roofer and Gutters, folks, they do everything dealing with the exterior of your home, from the siding to the gutters to the roof, the windows, whatever you have need of. You got a patio, you got a porch, they can take care of it. Give them a call, 601-326-2755. 601-326-2755. And it's going to be an open forum. I want to continue on because my good buddy Philip called in the other day, gave me an opportunity to tee off and tie together a lot of the commentary that I've given down through the years. And you heard me speak of the keepers of the keys. These are the people who have knowledge. Actually, the knowledge was intended for all of mankind, but somebody decided, you know what, this is pretty good. We're going to hold on to this, and we're going to form a secret society and hold the goodies down on how to best organize society, et cetera, and live amongst one another as ordained and given by God's word and God himself. And so you ended up with all these different groups. I mean, from, I don't know, the Jesuits to the Masons to the AKAs to all the different, anytime you click up like that, you're doing it for a reason. You're trying to get your crew together. You're trying to get your weight up. You're trying to dominate. You're trying to control the world. Who else gets accused of trying to control the world all the time? I think it'd be the Jewish people. And what I've told you, your host, Radio Strongman, folks, I'm not going to be found wrong on the things you hear me say, not because I'm right. It's because what's right is right. And it's easy to do. So I pointed out to you after the end of the Civil War, and see, from the 65 to 1890 was the period they called the Reconstruction period. That's when the federal government was in there doing what it was doing, trying to secure the rights of blacks from evil white Democrats, the same white Democrats that are dogging out America right now. The same people. And so a generation is generally considered the time in which women come of age and start having babies. You know, back then it was 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, up there like that. Now let's just say 20 years is a generation. But from 65 to 90, 1890 rather, was 25 years. And it just go every 20 years from thereafter. And I told you the secret sauce that the Jews have been employing, and it's available to, it's not like it's copyrighted or written, hidden and not written down somewhere. It's actually written down. Get your crap together, produce 3 or 4 generations of kids who are at the top of their game in whatever area of life, but particularly in the hard sciences. And you will dominate that society over time. You get enough of your crew to do that in that same manner. Black folks don't do that. We specialize in complaining, but that's another aspect of this monologue that we'll get into later. So you got to 1890, and then you add another 20 years on top of that. That's 1910. 1910, if you look at it from the beginning of the 19th century to 1920, turn me up a little bit more. Try over here. There's a knob over there. Testing, testing, testing. I want to hear it in my ears. That's what I want to hear. There you go. That's even better. All right. In 1910, you want to be in their schools. So we took those separate and unequal schools where our kids were being educated who could read and write by the third grade. My grandmother only had a third or fourth grade education, and she could write better than me and my mother could. Because back then they were actually learning. So they got us to buy into this notion what you want is to be near white people. So we abandoned those teachers who loved us and took care of us and got into this situation that Nancy Broom, or was it Linda Broom? Who was that Broom lady that's in charge of this school public education crap? They gave us people like her who want us to get caught into the system. That's why I keep saying to black folks, ain't nothing wrong with us other than we are too lazy to pull it together, because we can articulate what happened to us. We just ain't gonna do anything to stop it. Our number, 601-879-0002, the eliteroofer.com hotline. I'm gonna try to continue this train of thought when I get back. We'll be right back. No calls. All right, folks, we are back, and it is Friday. Glad to be back here in the studios again today. And this is your host. I'm telling you, this is not my sound. It's just not high enough in my ear. But we're going to make it work. I want to wish congratulations to Elena McCullough, graduated from Mississippi State University today, and her proud parents, Darren and Sonny. They're happy, getting that girl out of their pocket for a little while there. Now they got a little breathing room. So congratulations, you done good. I remember she's just a young girl, and now she's all grown up and a graduate. Congratulations. All right, folks, it is an open forum. Let me continue on about this. Folks, this third and fourth generation stuff is very, very important. Because after the 50s, when our families were intact and we had a marriage rate in the 70% or higher range in our community, what did they bring in? The drugs. So the 60s or 70s, you started seeing the drugs come in there. You started seeing, then you add on to that Johnson's Great Society program. Their whole goal is to prevent that third and fourth generation of growth. That's why right now in the Black community, this is what I told Blacks a couple weeks ago. As far as the civil rights movement is concerned, Reconstruction is over. You just heard that the Department of Justice is doing away with their disparate rules as it relates to being able to prove discrimination is taking place, yada, yada, yada. It's over with. And Black folks, you don't need to be panicking. You need to be leaning on that God you've been telling everybody that you all about and standing on business and pivot. But you're not willing to do that because you're looking for a job. How many times have they told you, well, ain't no job, Trump ain't gave no Black folks no jobs. Trump's giving people opportunity. You don't even recognize opportunity anymore because you want jobs. Look at Fair Street. Fair Street was built with nickels and dimes and dreams, and you're trying to rebuild it with government money. You can't get this out of your head. They're your enemy, knucklehead. It's not going to get any better. You're wasting everybody's time. But then you know what? Keep doing what you're doing. But the goal is to make sure it's one and done. So I'm 70 years old. I'm part of the generation that the dollars fell on. We had blessings coming from everywhere. But because our kids and many of our wives and many of our daughters got caught up in that feminism crap, you got all these 60-year-old women out here, ain't never had no kids. They went through life achieving all that they achieved, and they ain't got nobody to pass it on to. One and done. They bought into the madness. Elijah Muhammad kept trying to tell Dr. King, he said, brother, don't do this. Our people need to take time to clear their head. Oh, no, dog. White folks is the way to go. No, truth is the way to go. That's why I keep trying to point out to you, you ministers who were relying so heavily on the civil rights ministry as opposed to the ministry of gospel of Jesus Christ, you destroyed the Black community, and you won't take counsel because you done read the Bible 7 times. Now you're an expert. Your vanity won't let you see anything other than your ego. And look at our kids. Just remember what I'm telling you. They're not going to let you get 2 good generations in the can because they're not going to let you dominate. They got you thinking that everybody else has got some kind of magical power, and it ain't no magical power. Back when we were Negroes,
Open weekdays at 7 a.m. Highway 18 in Raymond.
Hello, friends and neighbors. This is David Frederick. I'm here to tell you about the latest development here at Frederick Sales and Service in Brandon. In an effort to always bring you the very best brands, I am proud to announce that Frederick Sales and Service is Central Mississippi's newest dealer for Skag zero-turn mowers and products. We have end-of-year deals on one of the industry's best brands of zero-turn mowers, Skag. You can buy now and pay later because 0% financing is also available at Frederick's. Come see our inventory. We're here serving you for over 3 decades in Brandon since 1993.
Business owners, tired of drowning in payroll, compliance, and back office headaches? P-Police has your back. P-Police can free you from the never-ending grind of employee administration, such as time and attendance, onboarding, background checks, even business insurance. While you focus on growing your business, P-Police handles the paperwork. Stop stressing and start succeeding. Partner with P-Police, locally based in Ridgeland. Visit ppolice.com and get back to business.
Doctor, the AC doctor, what's your diagnosis? My whole house was hot as a fever. Now my house frozen, cause my air conditioning's on. Doctor, my AC's broken. Doctor, the AC doctor, heal my house, bless my soul.
The AC Doctors is your one-stop provider for air conditioning and heating installation, service, and repair. Contact us for money-saving repairs and lower energy bills.
Doctor, the AC doctor, heal my house, bless my soul.
Google the AC Doctors and get some relief today. TheACDR.com.
Hi, folks. Kim Wade here. Mississippi Energy Services provides generators. That's right. You may not need it now, but when you need backup power, you need a backup power generator from Mississippi Energy Services. Never again have to worry about being without heat, air conditioning, or all your frozen items spoiling because your energy was lost. You got backup power now, and it's so reliable. You'll be pleased with Mississippi Energy Services. Online at msenergy.us.
Here's a word from John White, the owner of Two Gun Tactical in Flowood and Ridgeland.
I carry a gun every day, all the time. Last year in America, 2 million legal guns were pulled, and it stopped the threat. So I'm really wearing a firearm just to stop the threat. There's more likelihood of me just pulling it and not using it than there is using it. TwoGunTactical.com, TwoGunTactical.com.
Two Gun Tactical, the South's only country club.
Hi, Kim Wade here. Cork and Door Company has been providing quality residential garage and commercial overhead door products to Mississippians for over 50 years. Cork and Door is a supplier of garage door parts and services such as LiftMaster, commercial and residential door operators, as well as Clopay, sectional commercial and residential doors, Asta, commercial sheet and rolling steel doors, and Cornell, rolling steel and shutters, with many in stock for the same day pickup. Corkanddoor.com. That's Corkanddoor.com.
This copy machine has me so frustrated. I could just body slam it.
Whoa there, leave the body slamming to the pros and leave superior high-quality office tech to the experts at Advantage Business Systems, brother.
Woo! Get it!
Never body slam your copy machine again. Visit absms.com. Advantage Business Systems, laying the smackdown on bad tech.
The Kim Wade Show is brought to you by Mike Crook and the X39 Stem Cell Activating Patch made by LifeWave. Learn more at x39radio.com.
All right, folks, we are back. I want to remind you about Mercy House Adult Teen Challenge down in Georgetown, Mississippi. You know what? One of the things that I've learned since being on the radio, down through the years, folks, we've built houses for people. We've given away things. We've gone out there and put some shoulder against the wheel and helped rehab. We've done a lot here at WYAB, WJNT, and the Kim Wade Show, and you. Now, having said that, we want you to understand, folks, that as we try to upright the good ship of state here in America, it's going to require all of us to contribute some things. And some of the things I might be excited about, like in this case, Mercy House Adult Teen Challenge, you may not be. But something else we do here at WYB, you may be, hey, let's do that. That's right up my alley. And I understand if the Holy Spirit doesn't tell you to help out Mercy House Adult Teen Challenge, we understand that. But for those who do, please respond because it's good ground to sow into. They take men who are addicted in any kind of addiction. You could be addicted to drugs, alcohol, or the Democrat Party, Republican Party, Donald Trump, MAGA, whatever. They got a 14-month program using nothing but the gospel of Jesus Christ to help you overcome. Not just you confessing about, hey, I don't want to be on these drugs anymore. I don't want to be addicted anymore, but help you repent and actually go in the opposite direction. They're located in Georgetown. They're also on the social media web, Mercy House Adult Teen Challenge on Facebook, Mercy House ATC, which stands for Adult Teen Challenge.org on Facebook. There you can make a contribution monthly. You can have donations sent from Amazon for toiletries, soap. If you hunt, you kill hogs and cows, and you got some meat left over, some ground beef, some bacon. They got brand new commercial freezers. the classroom, it doesn't require anybody's permission. We can do it right here at JPS. Black men won't allow it. They're getting paid to sell our kids out, dog. But you know what? I'm cool with that because I'm done with y'all. You're going to get what you're going to get. I'm merely here to deliver the message as it was given to me to deliver to you. You do with it what you will, but you are responsible once you hear it. That's all you're responsible for is the word that you heard and the word that you don't do. That's it. Repent, obey, and maintain the faith. And we ain't doing any three, and none of the three. We're trying to fake and shake and pretend we got it all together. We got some difficult days ahead, brother. Just remember, the Black Caucus and these Black Caucus females out there, all of them are baby killers. Every last one of them. And if you want to kill the babies, okay, go ahead. But why are you going to go against their education of those who managed to escape your killing in the womb? Why can't you tell JPS, look, y'all better get don't get the numbers up. Y'all better get some real results. These kids need to be able to read and write at grade level, period. I don't care how you do it. You taking the money. See, they're telling us that the private schools got to have the same criteria as the public schools, and the public schools can't meet their own damn criteria. So now the question is, why isn't the Black Caucus asking them, why aren't you meeting the criteria? But the Black Caucus members all down there at the Fondren Neighborhood Association meeting trying to help them pull over their program. They down there in Bellhaven trying to help them pull over their program, and I ain't got no problem with that. But you can't get those same Black Caucus members to help our kids. I'm at war with y'all, man. Not war, woe. I'm a squad of one. I'm going to roll up on you, player. I'm going to pull up, man. You're not going to keep doing this. These kids don't know what they're missing. And all these old civil rights folks sitting around waiting for one voice to give them one more honorarium, one more award, one more plaque. Don't give a flip about these kids. Because if you had all this juice and gravitas, you go tell Nancy Lane, you go tell those lawyers down at the Southern Poverty Law Center, those lawyers at the ACLU, hey, before you go file any other lawsuit, you better check in with the Magnolia Bar. And we're going to let you know if we want this lawsuit brought on behalf of our kids. But no, you let these white folks go down there and sue all the structure out of our public schools, and then you got this grifter, Derek Johnson, coming back saying, we got to do something about the schools to the prison pipeline. Fool, it was y'all lawsuit that created it. Right there in Meridian. I'm telling you, black folks, it is the blackity black folks, the red, black, and green folks, the black for a living folks, and the set-aside Negroes who ruined Jackson. Every policy that brought Jackson to the brink of financial ruin, it was at the behest of black folks pretending to be caring about black folks. I'm not abiding this, dog. I'm your foe. F-O-E exclamation point, foe. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. The next hour we're going to do.
Automotive and Rick's Pro Truck have you covered. From rugged bumpers to sleek step bars, Weston's top-notch accessories will transform your truck into a head turner. And at Rick's Pro Truck, we specialize in custom installations that bring your vision to life. Visit us today for expert advice and unbeatable deals. Weston Automotive and Rick's Pro Truck, where your truck's potential comes alive. Weston and RPT. Trucks live here.
This is Doug with Magnolia Safety Group. Imagine a workplace where every employee feels safe and empowered. At Magnolia Safety Group, we make that vision a reality. From OSHA compliance to customized training, hazard assessments, and safety audits. We deliver tailored solutions that protect your people and boost productivity. Don't just meet safety standards, exceed them. Partner with Magnolia Safety Group and build a safer future one workplace at a time. Call us today to get started or check out our website at magnoliasafetygroup.com.
What are people saying about Tom's Fried Pies in Richland?
Tom's Fried Pies. And I made the mistake. I ordered one pie. I figured, you know what? I'll try Tex-Mex. It was so good. Man, second go round, I ate the pecan pie. You will need a meat pie and a dessert one. Get both because they are off the hook.
I went to Tom's Fried Pies today, and I'm going back. I tried the taco one, really good. When I go back, I'll bring some home.
Tom'sFriedPies.com.
You can show your pride and patriotism in honor of the 250th birthday of this great nation by proudly flying a flag. And a complete flag source on I-55 in Jackson is the place to find it. All sizes for all purposes. And they have the official 250-year celebration flag. Have a look at CompleteFlags.com. That's CompleteFlags.com.
This is Jack Hoffman. For nearly 31 years, Tico Steakhouse has been a staple of fine dining in Jackson, Mississippi. Dad has long since desired for me to come work alongside him. And now that I'm here, I would like to invite you to come experience our family tradition of our hospitality, sizzling steaks, and healthy poured beverages. Our dining rooms are open and we are taking reservations. Our private rooms are also available along with takeout. Call today or stop in and experience Tico's in the second generation.
Tico's Steakhouse, East County Lime Road in Ridgeland, 601-956-1030.
This Christmas, Green Oak has everything you need to make your season magical. We've got the finest live trees, wreaths, and garlands. We can light, flock, and deliver straight to your door. Visit our gift shop for stunning holiday decorations, unique gifts, and handcrafted treasures to complete your festive look. Planning a holiday event? Our custom floral designs will add elegance and cheer to every occasion. Make this Christmas stress-free and beautiful with Green Oak on Old Canton Road in Jackson or at the Township in Ridgeland. And let us help design, nurture, and grow your holiday spirit. Green Oak, your home for the holidays.
Pure Air Consultants offers services on your heating and cooling system. It's time to get your heating system serviced. We offer replacement, service, maintenance agreements. It's important because if you have a gas heating system, it can produce carbon monoxide. So you want to make sure you have your system serviced and cleaned to protect your family. You want to make sure your system is safe to run. You can find us on our website at mypureairconsultants.com, mypureairconsultants.com.
The Kim Wade Show is brought to you by Mike Crook and the X39 Stem Cell Activating Patch made by LifeWave. Learn more at x39radio.com.
All right, folks. Now, let me continue on briefly with the generational thing. Man, an old wise man. And again, the truly educated and wise individual is the man who understands human nature. It's not the one who's got a PhD from MIT. Now, that person's intelligent. But true wisdom is knowing God and knowing your relationship with him and to him and your relationship with others around. Just like human knowledge was being accrued when they saw Cain go down to the riverbed and get that stone. Next thing you know, you read the headlines the next morning, Abel killed. So you see somebody down there getting stoned. Oh, somebody, they're going to Jackson. The wise man said, after 5 generations of not socializing and educating your progeny, your kids, the fruit of your loins, rather, you're going to create feral animals. You look at this riffraff today, the pajama bomber mama, the slippers in the Walmart folks, their kids, and then they having kids. This is why I keep saying the black community is going to collapse. We don't have any of the theologians we had back in the 60s and 70s who could see this and say that flat-footed. We got all these corner-cutting preachers out here who done read the Bible 30, 40 times, but they don't have a real relationship with Christ because they can't speak with the authority. All we got are these Skiva preachers, the 7 sons, the nephews, and the cousins of the Skivas. They ain't got no power. Because if you were all on one accord, like you say you are, we would be seeing some results that had evidence of God's fingerprints on them. All we seeing is death and destruction. And death and destruction has become an economy. It's how people make their living. You got your titans of this economy, the titans of this industry, just like you have GM. Who's the grand poobah of poverty in Mississippi? Benny Thompson. And here he made $80 million by building all those apartments, taking all that rent money that should be equity in the pockets of individual families that they could pass on to their kids. So what? You can have that second and third and fourth generation of growth. But the white devils in the Democrat Party told Benny, no, build them apartments. We're going to let you make the money. Then every generation is going to start from scratch. And y'all sit up there and saying, we being denied. You don't know when you're being blessed. Donald Trump is trying to bless you. But because you don't care about your kids, we stuck like Chuck. Now, I don't know if I'm going to get to it today, because the next hour we're going to be talking a little bit of cybersecurity, but I wanted to point out a couple of things as relates to Benny Thompson and his comments yesterday. And folks, it's showing his heart. I keep trying to tell you, guilt-ridden whites, Benny and the people who support Penny, they hate us. They hate this country. And I will say this to Benny and to the Democrats. If you take charge in 2026 and you take the presidency in 2028, dog the MAGA movement out. Jail everybody you can and kill everyone you have to. Because we deserve it. Because we got all these Jeff Sessions Christians up here. I need to see the Epstein file because my principals won't allow me to deal with child molesters. Okay. Now, you saw what Benny's willing to do. You saw what the J6 committee's willing to do. They've demonstrated that they will kill us and jail us, and you don't believe them. You still want to do all this moral virtue signaling crap, pretending like you Jeff Sessions or somebody, like you got all this spiritual depth to you, and you won't stand up and rebuke a flea. So if they take charge, dog is out, dog. Dog out our mothers, our fathers, our kids, our grandkids. We deserve it. The men of MAGA folded. Just like, here's the thing John said, we folded like witches. I'll say the same thing to the Jews. If the Jews move on somebody or somebody move on the Jews, you better have your weight up. You can win. We decided to fight back, and then we choked on the 1 yard line. So we get what we get. I say the same to the black community. You ain't getting no reparations. You didn't fight hard enough. You're a sucker. You pick the cotton and shut the hell up. Be done with it. If you're not willing to fight for your freedom, you get what you get. And if MAGA loses this and they come back with a roar and dog is out, hey, now I'm not going to lay down for it. I'm going to fight. But if I get killed in it, I'm going to be expecting it. Because when we had a chance to win, all these Jeff Sessions Christians pretending like they had a relationship with Christ, oh no, I can't do that. My religion won't allow me. Well, guess what? Their religion will allow them to kill you. So you'll figure it out. So Benny, if you guys win again, hey brother, you got my full permission. Hey, I mean, even to me, even to my kids, kill them. Because I, as a man, didn't fight hard enough to remain free and keep my kids free. So all you folks out there getting distracted with the Epstein files and other miscellaneous crap like that, you should have been listening to your generals. Because again, they volunteered for the job that they got themselves into, and they'll be facing death before all of us. And yet they marched on, and you went to the ball game. We're going to take a break. We'll be back in 8 minutes.
Carter Jewelers has the prettiest jewelry ever made at ridiculously low prices. Christmas sale going on now. Carter Jewelers, Jackson.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Christopher Cruz. Days of torrential rain in Washington state have caused historic floods. Governor Bob Ferguson says conditions are unpredictable.
This is something that the people of the state of Washington have not faced before, this level of flooding. And so we encourage, of course, individuals to follow the orders from their local officials when it comes to evacuation orders.
CBS's Carter Evans.
In Burlington, in particular, this community are seeing low-lying areas flooding. So houses that are on foundations, they've got about a foot or two of water inside the homes right now. And that's a problem for a lot of people. And a big surprise, too, because the river is declining right now.
Democrats say they're still fighting for tax credits to lower health insurance
insurance premiums. Here's Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
People are going to die, and I don't understand why they can't just extend these subsidies so that we can save people's lives while they figure out whatever their political food fight is.
Republicans have a plan, says CBS's Peter King.
The Republican bill does not include an extension of the Affordable Care Act tax credits. GOP leaders are considering an amendment vote on extending subsidies in some form next week. The plan would codify and expand association health plans and choice arrangements. It would include a provision that would require pharmacy benefit managers to be more transparent with employers. The proposal would also include pay for cost sharing reductions to reduce premiums in individual markets.
A federal judge has blocked immigration authorities from detaining Kilmore Abrego Garcia again. Attorney Simon Sandoval Moschenberg.
Obviously, everyone knows that it's not the end of the story. As long as the government keeps coming after him, we're going to keep having to defend him. For now, it's a very important victory.
Venezuela's Nobel Prize-winning opposition leader Marina Corina Machado says pressure on President Nicolas Maduro could force him from power. She spoke to CBS's Margaret Brennan in an exclusive interview.
How do you square military action with receiving a peace prize? Are we at the point it's necessary?
What we're fighting for is precisely freedom in order to have democracy, and democracy in order to have peace. And in order to maintain freedom and to achieve freedom, you do need strength.
The full interview airs Sunday on Face the Nation. Fired University of Michigan football coach Sharon Moore was arraigned on charges of home invasion and stalking today. He appeared via video.
We understood on the no contact and no go-to, sir.
Yes, Your Honor. Moore has been released after posting a $25,000 bond. Prosecutors say he forced his way into the home of a woman he reportedly was having an affair with. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Take the next step forward in your career with great benefits and an award-winning workplace. Apply at careers.progressive.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-515-1771. That's 800-515-1771. 800.
This hour sponsored by the Mississippi Candy Company in Gluckstadt, your destination for stocking stuffers, chocolate gift boxes, popcorn, ice cream, and much, much more.
The coldest air so far this season. Sunny and 57 this afternoon. Tonight, you've got clouds moving in with a low at 49. Saturday, rain chances begin in the evening with a high at 66. Rain Saturday night and 43 Sunday. You've got news on 103.9 WYAB. I'm Chris Davis. Changes in the weather coming with the low pressure system Saturday night.
Monday, overnight lows will drop into the low 20s to upper teens.
National Weather Service meteorologist Christopher Rayner.
And as we get into the midweek, expect temperatures to rebound.
In Morton, in Scott County, deputies there say they were forced to fatally shoot someone who was on a rampage and just wouldn't quit Thursday. That started in the parking lot of a business when the man was trying to get into cars. When confronted, he led deputies on a chase down Highway 13 with little regard, hitting a cement truck, a car, and a school bus before being stopped with bullets. That person's name has not yet been released. Defrauding several people out of nearly $45K is why Kiana Rochelle Cooper, who was an employee of Loan Max Title Loans in Jackson, is going up for 2 years and will have to repay the money, says Attorney General Lynn Fitch. Child molestation is why 68-year-old Gary Glenn Herring of Rankin County is going to prison for the rest of his life, plus 30 years. The state may not consider some college and university programs worthy of state money.
We've got entire programs that seems like the state
should stop investing in, maybe even institutions.
He's Patrick Sullivan, head of the state's Workforce Training Board. It seems the gauge for that now is whether state lawmakers believe the program or school is geared toward a job that makes money. The legislature may look at no longer sending state money to those programs when lawmakers convene next month. More news in 1 hour on 103.9 WYAB. I'm Chris Davis.
The views and opinions expressed on this program are the individual views and opinions of the people expressing them and do not necessarily reflect those of this radio station, its parent, affiliated, or related entities, agents, or employees.
The Kim Wade Show, brought to you by Bill's Creole and State Depot. Now open Thursdays through Sundays from 3 till 9 p.m.
Bump, 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 bump. All right, folks, we are back, and it is Friday. The Gun and Knife Club begins in earnest in 54 minutes. Be ye ready. Be strapped down in Jacktown or out of town, or you're going to get laid down. That's right, folks. Jeremiah Howard will be scooping you up off the streets, taking you over there to the pauper field. Now, and that's if you don't have any next of kin or anybody who can fund your funeralization. Of course, you know, we got the discounted plan here at WYAB, the Kim Wade Show. It's called a half a gallon of gasoline and where you lay in a match. And so basically, we're just going to kind of warm you up before you get to the big main event downstairs. But anyway, you know, here in Hinds County, we do have a great corner. Hat tip to Jeremiah on his victory here. We're looking for many years of great service from the young man. He's a good kid, good young man. He's got a good heart. And we need more public servants like him. Hat tip to him. All right, folks. The hotline number is brought to you by EliteRoofer.com. And we have in the studios with us the G-Man. Mr. G-Man, how goes it, sir?
It is going great, sir. Just enjoying my new grandbaby.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Now, how old is she now?
She is, she'll be 3 months.
Is that
here
right?
next week. 3 months.
3 months?
3 months, man.
Wow, the time went fast. It just seemed like last week you put that picture up. Well, that's great. Yeah, those grands will spoil you big time. Of course, you know, she's 3 months. That's a lot of diapers.
It is a lot of diapers. Yeah, we've had a couple of explosions that we've had to clean up, but you know what?
It's a rite of passage. Son.
It is, and as I told you during the break, if there was a way we could have just had grandkids first.
Yeah. I have 5 and 5. I've got 5 grands and 5 great grands. My oldest granddaughter, she got 5 kids. She just, and her husband looks just like Grady. You know Grady from
yeah.
He looks just like a young Grady. And then my grandson, my great grandson looks just like him, and he looks like the little Grady. It's just funny. I get a kick out of him. But anyway, congratulations on that new addition to the family.
Thank you,
and you're going to enjoy it immensely. And there's nothing like it. Speaking of grands, hey, you grandparents out there, don't forget our new sponsor here at WYAB, and that's the Mississippi Candy Company. They're located in Gluckstadt, right as you get off the interstate there in that shopping center to the left. I think it's El Petrillo's in there, one of those Mexican restaurants. And take the grands over there, get some stocking stuffers. That's right, folks. They got candy lined up for days. And some of that candy, you grew up with pops and grandpops, and you can get them introduced to some of the things you grew up on. And then you can also make those stockings for hang over the mantle. This weekend, stop at the Mississippi Candy Store there in Gluckstadt, Mississippi. I think it's on Dee's Drive, but you can see it right off the interstate. All right, folks, it is an open forum. I got a couple things I want to talk about here. We got the G-Man in here in the studios, and he is a cyber guy. He's got some experience in that. And cyber guy, there's data centers going up wherever there's places that they can put them. One of the things I would suggest, I don't know why they don't put a data plant on top of that Mississippi power plant over there in Kemper County. It's sitting right on top of all that lignite, and lignite is still good fuel. It's just you can't transport it anyway because the numbers won't work. If you can just start burning it where you stand, so that would be a good place if they can get the water in over there. I don't know why they're not using these closed loops exclusively as opposed to the water systems that they use to cool these systems. I don't know. You got any thoughts?
Well, what I would say to people is if you want to find out what Mississippi would end up looking like, as much as they're really trying to push all these data centers, go up to Northern Virginia. And as you're driving up and down I-66 and you're driving around the Beltway and stuff, and you see all of these windowless buildings. And if you'll notice, the buildings are huge, but there's not a ton of parking spaces out there. Why do you think there's not a ton of parking spaces outside a data center there, Radio Strongman?
Well, because data centers, short of the servers just catching on fire or dying, they don't require a lot of maintenance. And there's a lot of storage. Matter of fact, I remember, when I started in data communication, we worked on 300 baud printers, 1200 baud modems. I remember installing some 14.4 modems at Delphi, and that was a big deal. That was a real big 1400. And now, the download speeds and upload speeds and 100,000, yada, yada, yada. But there's been a lot of changes in it. So it doesn't require as much. Everything has become more compact. But I tell you, folks, these are not data centers. These are guard towers. Your freedoms are gone. This is the basis for the new currency. People worried about, well, how am I going to make money? How am I going to work if their AI is taking over everything? You're not. The globalists are just going to debit your account. It's going to be like what do they call it? The monthly income. What do they call it? Where they give everybody a check, a stipend.
Stipend, yeah.
Give everybody a monthly stipend, but that stipend is going to be based on your obedience. You just can't act a fool. So if you're somebody like me who's got an opinion about everything, you're probably not going to fare well in this new society. But if you're average, run-of-the-mill, off-the-rack Democrat who just like to be spoon-fed and taken care of, oh, this is ideal for y'all. This is going to be just like being up at Parchment. You're going to love it. But for everybody else who loves freedom, it's going to be problematic. So I just want to let you know that the data centers is just look, you already have the mark of the beast. The mark of the beast essentially right now is your IP address. It's just not under your skin, but that's all it is. And they're going to be able to track you and do everything, and you're being lulled into. That's why they're rushing it out. And I heard one guy, he's a numbers cruncher. He said the Amazons, even though they're trillion-dollar companies, they don't even have enough money to finance all these data centers. This is the government. And because it's all funny money, and this is why I'm telling anybody, don't worry about the debt. This is what crypto's all about. Crypto's all about is me and G-Man here decides to set up our own crypto. We get enough people to believe in it. You give us enough money, we're going to take your money and buy real assets with it. You're going to hold on to your coins thinking they're going to appreciate it, and they may very well be. But we're using your money basically to buy assets. All it is a different financing and vehicle to buy assets. I know one preacher, he bought 3 or 4 churches using this crypto. Then the crypto that he was pushing died. He ain't did anything wrong. It's just the nature of the business. So if you got crypto coins, when you can turn it into some assets, do it. If you're just sitting on it for your retirement, you're going to get burned, baby. Because about every 5 or 10 years, Wall Street comes out with another scam, and that's all this is. It's just that this time you're going to actually lose your freedom. Any thoughts?
Well, you know what's going to be the new, the new currency is going to be the people that can actually do something, that can grow something, that can fix something, that know how things work, that can live outside of that data center and survive.
Right.
Unless the government just comes to track you down, physically and takes you out. There's people that can survive. What is that old Hank Williams Jr. song, Country Boy Can't Survive. So what you're going to find is a lot of people that don't know how to do things now are going to become servants to the people that know how to do things.
Yep, that's exactly right. One of the things is, to your point about the barter system, if you will, the wild card and all that is back during Obama's term, one of the omnibus bills they put in place, they had a provision in there where you could grow food for yourself. You couldn't grow food and give it away or sell it to anybody else. So they put in all these choke points. These people, this is why I keep saying, you really got to understand this concept about the keepers of the keys. These people are looking decades and generations down the road, and we're looking at tomorrow. So when they put that in that bill, they know there's going to come a time that you're going to want to go out and try to do what you're talking about doing. Hold up, Hoss. Yeah, you can do it, but all you got is that little plot of land on your little piece of house where your house is right now. You don't have all that acreage. and then whatever you grow, you're gonna have to either eat it, but you can't give it away. It's just like they do with the what is it, unpasteurized milk. You know, they were drinking unpasteurized milk before they had pasteurized milk, and civilization was 2,000 or 3,000 years old. So, but because of the control factor, they say, well, you can't sell unpasteurized milk because it's a danger. If they decree those things, but money is going to end up being whatever the government accepts. And as you say, if they can work with their hands, but see, that goes back to what I was saying about back in the day after the Civil War, everybody lived off the land. You know, we romanticize about I'm going getting off the grid, baby. It ain't easy living off the grid. It's romantic, but it ain't easy. You know, so at the end of the day, all I'm telling you folks, this is where your spiritual discernment comes in. There's a lot of things taking place, just like we look at the rise of Islam around the world. I remember reading, it was some, I know it was, what was it? Baxter used to come to town all the time, Mr. the prophecy guy, not Brett Baxter. What was his name? He was part of the Pentecostal church. Anyway, Baxter, and he was talking about the European nations going against the nation of Israel. And I'm thinking, why? Those are Christian nations. It didn't make sense. Well, they're being taken over by Muslims now. And once they totally dominate England and France, they're going to be they'll be making the war making decisions for those countries. They're going to go to war just as the Bible predicts that they will. Folks, I keep saying, this is why I keep telling you about your preacher. If he can't tell you where you are on your spiritual theological time, where we are on the spiritual theological timeline, bro, I'm just telling you, you need to start studying for yourself. You should have been doing that the whole time. I'm telling you, this is some serious jelly. You just think it's about whether or not you're going to get another grant, whether Trump is going to win or lose. No, this is about our freedom. This is a battle between evil and good.
Yep. I think it's going to be interesting to see if people will actually stand up and hold their representatives accountable. I've said it. I know you probably believe this. I'm guessing you believe this. Islam is incompatible with our form of government. Look at what's happening up in Minnesota right now and where they're taking over the no-go zones, the way that they funneled all this money. You know, and everybody's thinking that Trump is going to take care of all this stuff, but Trump is just one person. He can do all the executive orders he wants. And what happened when Biden got in? He wrote 200 executive orders and wiped them out.
That's right. That's right.
And you've got representatives out there now like Michael Guest going out and trying to sell the idea to you that it's the Trump Guest border policy that has been put into effect. Where was that sucker for 4 years that Trump wasn't in office?
He will not have a chapter in Profiles in Courage. That's for darn sure. No, and see, that's the thing about it. You know, I was thinking about the congressman that Guest succeeded.
Greg Harper?
Yeah. Greg left in 2016. Just as President Trump, we had all branches of government, and he made it harder for us to maintain the House. The Democrats took over the House. They impeached President Trump. They're going to do it again because of people who think like Greg Harper. They think it's all a game. They think it's all about them. Now, I initially thought that Greg left because of that handsome retirement plan, and the G-man corrected me that it's not, they don't get 70-80% of their salary. They only get $8,000 a year or something like that. It turns
1.7% times the number of years that you serve. 1.7% of your highest 3 earning years times the number of years that you serve.
Right. So his reason is for leaving. I know he didn't leave there broke. I know the globalists will spread enough money around wherever they need. I believe Greg and others were incentivized to leave the U.S. Congress and leave the president in a lurch and prevent the MAGA movement from having more gains than we could have. And that's what we're going to face going into 2026. You see a lot of them are going to get paid off. They're going to take that bag and screw everybody else, you know. But hey, it is what it is. I mean, he had a right to come to the House just like he had a right, but he enjoyed the best 10 years of his life. And when we had a chance to benefit from all that struggle the Tea Party did and everything else, Greg sold us out again. Yes, Greg, you know you did. Remember at Boyles Park? I remember you walking away, slinking away. Then you went up there. The first trip you got out to D.C., you got out off the plane and got in the car with Haley. And as they say, the rest is history. And now we've been carrying a child of yours for the last 10 years because you screwed us. Let's take a break. Our number, 601-879-0002, brought to you by the EliteRoofer.com hotline.
about being home for the holidays are sharing stories, sharing gifts, and sharing a slice of pizza you crave the most. Like the classic Pizza Kitchen from Johnny's Pizza House, topped with 11 legendary ingredients. It's the main course on everyone's wish list. Need a gift for that hard to buy person in your life? Get them a Johnny's Pizza House gift card and go from good friend to best friend. They may even end up sharing it with you. Share a slice of home this holiday season with Johnny's Pizza House.
Here's a word from John White, the owner of Two Gun Tactical in Flowood and Ridgeland.
I carry a gun every day, all the time. Last year in America, 2 million legal guns were pulled and it stopped the threat. So I'm really wearing a firearm just to stop the threat. There's more likelihood of me just pulling it and not using it than twoguntactical.com, twoguntactical.com.
Two Gun Tactical, the South's only country club.
I'm speaking with Lee Bounds of Rapid Rate Mortgage. How does real estate agent Rita Jensen succeed when time is of the essence?
In today's market, it is so important to communicate and close on time. Typically have 30 days to close, get a home inspection, appraisal, title work, that kind of thing is a mortgage process. And a realtor relationship is so important. With a realtor like Rita Jensen with Remax Connection, she helps us to close on time.
RitaJensen.net.
If you want the best health care, where do you go? The Mayo Clinic. If you want the best care for your vehicle, where do you go? Mayo Auto Clinic in Raymond. Mayo Auto Clinic does foreign and domestic vehicles and diesel repair. Mayo Auto Clinic has ASE certified techs with over 25 years of experience. You can extend the life of your car or truck when you take it to Mayo Auto Clinic. For cost-effective repairs and maintenance, go to the best, Mayo Auto Clinic. Open weekdays at 7 a.m. Highway 18 in Raymond.
It can be hard to move past the guilt, times of weakness and regret, knowing you weren't there for your family when they needed you the most. But there is life after addiction. We're seeing broken families restored, one man at a time, through our vehicle, cash, and thrift store donations. It's given Mercy House Adult and Teen Challenge the ability to help these men succeed in having better lives. Donate a vehicle, running or not, and we'll come pick it up. Call today, 601-572-7296, or visit us at vehicledonationsms.com.
Hey, this is Travis with Rapid Oil Change, the leader in fast service and fleet account maintenance for over 40 years, providing routine maintenance for most makes and models, keeping downtime to a minimum. We accept most local and national fleet accounts. Can't see at night? Headlights faded? Check out our newest service, the Bright Line Headlight Restore Kit by Mighty Automotive, available now. Keep your vehicle ready for the road ahead and drive hard with Casserole Edge. Open 6 days a week with 6 locations to serve. Visit us online for specials at oilchangems.com.
This is Lori at the Mailroom Gluckstadt with exciting news. We now offer photo services and large format printing, such as banners, yard signs, blueprints, and canvas prints. We also print business cards, invitations, photos, and more. And with the holidays coming fast, let us print your Christmas cards. Many projects may be ready the same day, and the Mailroom Gluckstadt is still your place for shipping, drop-offs, and gift wrapping. Visit us at 272 Calhoun Station Parkway, across from Callaway's in Gluckstadt. Mailroomgluckstadt.com.
And now back to the Kim Wade Show, brought to you in part by Clinton Body Shop in Clinton and Richland. We take pride in perfection.
All right, folks, we are back, and it is Friday. Glad to be back here in the studios, and it's your host, it's Radio Strongman. Hey, by the way, you know, I mentioned Mississippi Candy Company there in Gluckstadt. Folks, they make a good smash burger over there, but it's not all day long. It's only at lunchtime. So if you got a taste for a real live smash burger, I'm talking about, you know, that's why I like Steak and Shake. But Steak and Shake, depending on which cook is back there, all of them don't do the smash burger style. It's smash burger up there, Mississippi Candy. So it's not necessarily a soda bar, but they do a little lunch there. They got a chicken salad sandwich there. I think old brother Palmer just likes to cook. He just likes to cook. That's what that is. But anyway, you can check them out on Facebook also. You can see some of the offerings up there. But please take your grandkids and kids over there to get some candy. The kids' eyes get big as golf balls when they walk in there and see all those rolls of jars of candy. You got to drag them out of there by their hair. But anyway, all right, folks, got a couple things I want to talk about here. I got the G-Man here with me, and he is adding his nickels and dimes into the marketplace of ideas. Before we get back, I want to tell you my good friend Tom Smith Land and Homes. Tom's got some great deals for you around the state. And the reason why we tell you about these different counties, because everybody knows somebody and everybody's from somewhere else for the most part. So if you're thinking about going back to Marion County to build your dream home, Tom Smith Land and Home is where I'd start. They've got almost 80 acres down there in this case for $316,000. You can escape to the outdoors on this. It's sitting on the scenic Upper Little Creek, an area known for excellent deer and turkey hunting, featuring a mix of mature hardwoods, 20-year-old pines. And you know, Tom, they'll know how to put these deals together. They can look at the land, look at the commodities that are on there as relates to wood products, et cetera, and tell you how to best put this financing deal together. Man, they are good. So we just want to commend them to you. And this land is located on Purvis Road down there in Columbia, Mississippi. We just encourage you to take a good look at that. And who's got that listed? That would be old David Beldon. David Belton can be reached at 601-898-2772. And we got one more deal I want to tell you about here before we move on. Somebody, was John there on the line? Did John ever call back?
He was on the line in the first hour. We couldn't get him in. You weren't taking calls.
Okay. Now here's one right here. A new listing in Madison County. In Canton Estates, folks, if you're looking for a home in Canton, this is beautiful. It's just beautiful. $284,000, 3668 North Liberty Street in Canton, Mississippi. Chance Persack got this listed. Give Chance a call at 601-898-2772. Ride by there this weekend, 3668 North Liberty Street in Canton. This house is a brick ranch-style home. It's got plenty of space. You're going to love it. And a Chance stands at the ready to show it to you at 601-898-2772. But wait, I had one more here. Where did I do with it? Yeah. All right. Well, I'll just come back to it. All right, folks, it is an open forum here. We got the G-Man here in the studio, cyber guy. He knows a little bit about cyber. And heck, actually, what do you know? What do you do? I guess your wife asked you the same, and your boss asked you to say, what do you do every day?
What do I do every day?
Yeah.
So I, after retiring from the FBI, I started my own investigative services business, and I provide some assistance to law firms. I'm not your typical private investigator. My fees are a little higher than that for the services that I provide. I do that, a little bit of contract work for the Department of Defense, doing some of their background investigations. And then when I'm not enjoying time with my family and our new granddaughter, I'm here helping out at WYAB, trying to just latch on to this 50,000 watt juggernaut that is taking over Mississippi. I can't tell you how proud I am to have had the opportunity to come in here and sit in this chair with and chat with guys like you and Clay Edwards and Andrew Gasser, Matt Bishop, everybody here, Lindsey Beckham with her show on in the afternoon. You guys are getting some compliments. I do some radio around the nation, over in Texas, up in Pennsylvania, and they speak highly of you. This is a unicorn of a station here, because it actually has hosts that come in here and pontificate, provide their thoughts, ideas, interact with the public. Too many of these radio stations out there just purchase content from somebody else. And I can't be more excited than I am right now for the great things that happen at WYAB as you guys take over the state of Mississippi. But you were talking about the cyber stuff. So I was cyber before cyber was cool. I started out when I was in the Air Force as a certified computer forensic field examiner. So I would examine Windows systems and recover evidence, and got trained on the processes of that. I didn't take really any computer stuff in college. I didn't have any bad habits to unlearn, which is one of the ways that they tested me and picked me up for that. And then when I came into the FBI, I was on the National Computer Crime Squad up in Washington, D.C. There's like 6 squads up there now. We were only 1 squad when I got there. And then I did some time at the Cyber Division headquarters in the Special Technologies and Applications section. You were talking about tracking people based on their IP address.
Right.
I can't count the number of people that once I latched onto you and I figured out where you were, who you were, I could do everything except sit you behind the keyboard. But I followed one guy all the way across the United States as he kept in touch with me. I tracked down a Russian up in New York a few months before 9/11 and went up there and arrested him for basically selling a bunch of illegal software, about $10 million worth of software. He sold me $10 million worth in value of software, which I did a little online undercover stuff. But I do have an understanding of it. I can't imagine how much better they're at it right now. And that terrifies me because I see people just constantly giving up their personal information. And that's what they trade with.
Yep. Data. That's why I believe that data is going to be 1/3. In other words, our currency going forward. And see, this is why I tell people, don't worry about the debt, because I see what Trump is doing. He said, look, just do everything you're going to do, buy whatever you're going to buy. It's just like being in, I've used this analogy before. It's like being in a game of Monopoly where one person gets so far out in front, it's no longer fun for anybody. And so you just shut it down. And what do? You start a new game. They're getting ready to start a new game. All the old debt is going to be under the old system. So those of you worried about the $37 trillion, don't worry about it. Did they ever tell you that did Germany ever pay back all the debt they owed from World War I and World War II? I know they paid on it. They don't get paid back. You just get screwed. They just move on to another program. This is why I keep telling you, folks, if you do the crypto, just remember, cash out every now and then, buy you some assets that you can touch. If you stay in it exclusively crypto, you're going to get the green weenie. Who do we have?
You want to take a quick call? This is John. Not here. Here's the thing, John. It's another John.
Okay, another John. You're on there. Hey, buddy.
Hey, how you doing? Listen, you know what people need to start watching? The Waltons.
The Waltons?
How they lived during the Great Depression.
Oh,
they had everything on the farm, everything at the mountain.
That's right.
And they grew their own stuff. And how they survived. They didn't buy nothing unless they had the cash to do it with, and how they improvised doing everything.
Yeah, you're right.
And you're during the Great Depression, people had to do that. That's why the World War II vets were so good, because they grew up during the Great Depression and they had to improvise everything they did. And that's why they were able to pull off what they pulled off. They didn't need people to build a house or do it. They would go do it themselves.
Yeah, I was watching some documentary on how the Russians build their homes. Man, dog, look, there's so many things. Matter of fact, I was watching another video yesterday, and it's somewhere. It looked like it was Thailand, some places like that over there. They took a disc plow and they dug up the road. What would be the road? They disked it up, and then they set down bags of concrete, cement. I don't know, about every 3 or 4 feet. Then somebody came by and cut open the bags, and then they had the disc guy come back down there and disc all that back up. And then they had a guy come by and spray it with water, and then they had the rollers come out. Then they had that roller that leaves the little dimples in it. And when they got done, that road was hard as a rock. I mean, you could rain on it, and it just. And these are things people doing all around the world. I think about all these country roads around. I think about Jackson, as a matter of fact. We could use some of that technology here. We just don't do the things that work anymore. We do everything that pays people. We don't do the things that necessarily work.
Like I say, that World War II generation, they had to survive. That's why they eat everything on the farm. They had hog jowl, craving chickens. They didn't waste nothing.
Nothing. Yep, you're right. I remember my grandmother washing out the paper towels and hanging them over the side of a little thing, a rack over the sink, and aluminum foil and things like that. My mother making rugs out of our old clothes. She didn't throw nothing out.
And they had smoke houses too.
Smoke houses, homemade bread. Oh man, dog, that's some.
And they canned everything. They didn't freeze nothing. They canned everything.
That's why they lived
had
so
no
long.
Electricity. A lot of times.
They were living good. You know what? And we're going to end up living like that. Unfortunately, just that we won't know how to do it. We'll have the need for it. All right, brother. Look, we appreciate you. We're up against a break. We'll be right back.
WYAB.
People ask me all the time, when is the best time to buy a new zero-turn mower? Well, the answer is right now. I'm David Frederick, owner of Frederick Sales and Service. We have end-of-the-year deals on the industry's best brands of zero-turn mowers. We have instant rebates and closeout prices on remaining 2025 inventory of Exmark, Hustler, Steel, and now Skag 2. You can buy now and pay later because 0% financing is always available at Frederick's. Frederick Sales and Service, serving you for over 3 decades in Brandon since 1993.
Business owners, tired of drowning in payroll, compliance, and back office headaches? P-Police has your back. P-Police can free you from the never-ending grind of employee administration, such as time and attendance, onboarding, background checks, even business insurance. While you focus on growing your business, P-Police handles the paperwork. Stop stressing and start succeeding. Partner with P-Police, locally based in Ridgeland. Visit ppolice.com and get back to business.
Doctor, the AC doctor, what's your diagnosis? My whole house was hot as a fever. Now my house frozen, cause my air conditioner's on. Doctor, my AC's broken. Doctor, the AC doctor, he healed my house. Bless my soul.
The AC Doctors is your one-stop provider for air conditioning and heating installation, service, and repair. Contact us for money-saving repairs and lower energy bills.
Doctor, the AC doctor, heal my house, bless my soul.
Google the AC Doctors and get some relief today. TheACDR.com.
Hey, this is John with MES. That's Mississippi Energy Services. We sell, service, and install all makes and models of home and business generators. One thing that we do different than a lot of other companies is we do all the work ourselves. We don't use subcontractors. We go from the original estimate, the design, to the final product. That way we can control the quality of the job from the beginning to the end. We are online at msenergy.us.
Here's a word from John White, the owner of Two Gun Tactical in Flowood and Ridgeland.
I carry a gun every day, all the time. Last year in America, 2 million legal guns were pulled, and it stopped the threat. So I'm really wearing a firearm just to stop the threat. There's more likelihood of me just pulling it and not using it than there is using it. TwoGunTactical.com, TwoGunTactical.com.
Two Gun Tactical, the South's only country club.
Here's what they're saying about Corcoran Door Company.
I'm going to yell out to one of your sponsors here, Corcoran Door. When the guy came out here, instead of just trying to throw a door up, he was looking at the way the house was facing. Man, with this double garage here on the south side, you might want to consider a insulated door. I came in earlier today about 2:30. The car thermometer said 99 degrees. The thermometer inside the garage was 82.
That's why they've been around 50 years.
Yeah.
Corkanddoor.com. CORKERN door.com.
ABS causes mass hysteria by providing office tech that actually does its job.
Relax. At Advantage Business Systems, we know office technology isn't that exciting, but we do know it is life-changing. Work life-changing, that is. Because the latest copiers, printers, mailing machines, and even telephone systems can keep your office running smoothly. Visit absms.com. Advantage Business Systems, helping your business do business.
Rotor's Plumbing of Pearl, your familiar plumber with these similar names. Locally owned and operated by Chris Rotor. Rotor's Plumbing is no franchise, simply lower prices and better service without the dreaded overpriced upsell. Rotor's is one of the few places you'll find that actually specialize in tankless water heater repair, as well as being your full-service plumber. And most importantly, service after the sale, meaning the techs actually answer your call, with misses averaging callbacks of 10 minutes or less. Rotor's Plumbing at ROEDERSplumbing.com.
And now back to the Kim Wade Show, brought to you in part by Clinton Body Shop in Clinton and Richland. We take pride in perfection.
All right, folks, we are back, and it is Friday. The Gun and Knife Club begins in earnest. down the city of Jackson had a meeting. I think it was Wednesday. I was thinking it was Thursday. It was on the 10th regarding the development of downtown. Folks, again, this administration is making an earnest attempt to bring everybody together. I want to see the property values improve. I said that when we were running. I said that before I ran. This is not rocket science. The problem in the Black community, we are hard-headed. We do everything that don't work with gusto. And everything that is righteous, we avoid. And then we get mad because somebody won't give us some stuff. We get mad because people don't want to be around us, so we think. Why don't we just improve our behavior? And as I was saying the other day about forgiveness, what would it hurt the Black community just to forgive, just individually forgive white folks? Well, they ain't forgave us. So what did your pastor tell you about that? So who is it hurting more? All these things that we don't do that we claim to be representative of Christ. Stop. Just stop, as the kids say, stop the cap. You ain't about that life, player. You're trying to get over on people, using the gospel as a weapon. Really? I want to point out something to y'all. Y'all heard the story of Joseph in the Bible, how he got thrown in the pit and sold off into slavery and yada, yada, yada. And he rose up to the top of that society after many trials and tribulations under the king and yada, yada, yada. But he got himself in a position that when there was famine in the land, he was able to help his people out. I'm 70 years old. I ain't saying that ain't nobody ever preached it. I'm just saying I ain't never heard one of these preachers that I've sat under or received a tape or cassette or CD of any of their sermons about Joseph. I ain't never heard of them using the story of Joseph as an example of what we Black folks could be doing, should be doing as Black Americans held captive, brought into captivities here in this country. In other words, why aren't we who's sitting in the king's house making sure poor people, Black people, marginalized people, God's people all over the world aren't harmed by this government? Why don't Black preachers preach that message? I just find it peculiar because it's so integral to this whole slavery thing. And it goes, tongue and groove into the gospel of Jesus Christ. If the gospel and the parables therein are examples on how we can organize our lives. Why don't they suggest, hey, Black man, you are Joseph. Your brother's in need in Africa. Don't let them kill Gaddafi. Don't let them kill Gaddafi and allow all those Muslim hordes to come in and kill all the Christians in southern sub-Saharan Africa. Why don't they teach that? Because they're working against us. The Black Iron Triangle, the Black preacher, the Black civil rights workers, and the Black politicians. They doing everything that don't work, and they doing it on behalf of people who can't stand us. And they can't deny it because they can't tell us why we doing bad. Oh, it's racism, but racism ain't holding back your flow. Your kids done went on to Harvard or some Ivy League school. You got school choice in the Mississippi legislature. Your kids in grad school, kids going to St. Andrews. You want me to have 1,000 ways to kill my child, but I can't have but one way to send my kids to school. Where are the Black men who say, no, we're not doing that here? I don't care what your interests are. My baby's going to get an education. That's the way Black people used to talk about their kid. My child going to get an education. Not now. How much money I can't get no check? My baby drooling. Look at him. Don't he look like something wrong with him? Where's my check? Get my check. Get my last check. No. We want to make sure white folks are good. We want to make sure white Democrats are good. If that's what you want to do, that's fine. This thing's collapsing. Jerry Young knows it. Kim Wade knows it. Ronnie Crudup knows it. All these preachers know it, and they working on the problem, but they said they had the solution, or they knew the man who had the solution. So are we being denied by the man, or are we getting it wrong? You don't think that's worthy of a conversation? That's not worthy of trying to figure out where's the sin in our camp? No. They know what they've done. There's some dishonesty somewhere in this mix, y'all. But you think getting mad at me is going to, I ain't got no problem with it. Because number one, I don't give a damn about you. You don't pay any of my bills. I don't live for you. I ain't seeking any of your resume enhancement. I don't want any of that. I ain't trying to be with you. I ain't trying to hang out with you. My kids ain't looking for a job from you. I'm just saying, dude, why don't you do right? Because it's the right thing to do. G-Man, I don't mean to get on my horse here. I don't know if you have any commentary, but I'm just saying, so many of these problems can be fixed, but yet we think it's easier to say if Chris Hinkle would just do something different, my life would be better. Chris, we went how many years without knowing one another? At least 55 years.
Yep.
And I didn't never woke up and said, man, I believe that Chris Hinkle's he's doing something to me. And you thinking, man, how can I feed my family? Make sure my wife is good, make sure she's happy, my kids are good. That's what most people think about. They don't think about how I can hold a black person down or a gay person. They just want you to do your job, whatever it is your job is. I don't know, Chris. I just think we treat everything like it's some Gordian knot we got to untie. I don't look at life like that.
I don't either. And as I've gotten older and more set in my ways, I'm more apt to just tell people when they want me to do something, I just say, yeah, I'm not going to do that.
No.
That's all I say.
Yeah.
And it's similar to what you've said when people say that they want to call you an Uncle Tom or a racist. What's your response?
So?
What
are you going to do about it?
I know. You kind of take the power away from people like that.
Right. And that's what Trump has done. This is why I keep saying this is the end of Reconstruction as far as the civil rights movement is concerned. They're just the last to know. They think they still had that juice and power, and that juice and power came from the federal government, and the federal government has changed. Just as it changed 50 years ago when it gave us the power after being our open enemy for all those years. And yet we thought this is the way it's always going to be, and then there was no reason for that belief. Stuck like Chuck. Folks, again, we here at WYAB, all we try to do is cut the pie down the middle. All we want is good government. We just want the government to work. We just cannot get our head around all these people who want this country destroyed. And this is what I say to my MAGA friends and supporters and lovers and all this stuff. Guys, if we lose this, you got to understand they're going to come after us. They came after us when we weren't doing anything to them. And they done told us when we get back in, you the one don't believe them. You think, no, I got tickets to the game this weekend. I don't care. They care. They're playing for keeps. I give, here's the thing, John and his crew, they are serious about their evil. And you ain't serious about your righteousness. You think somebody, I guess what, you going to bring in some illegals to be righteous for you? Good luck. Our number 601-879-0002. Let's go ahead and take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Exceed them. Partner with Magnolia Safety Group and build a safer future one workplace at a time. Call us today to get started or check out our website at magnoliasafetygroup.com.
Are you ready to invest in your future? Then invest in land. This is Tom Smith from Tom Smith Land and Homes, Mississippi's premier land and home real estate resource. With land, you can create the lifestyle that you desire, whether it's a home, farm, or recreational getaway. Land means space for memories and a legacy for you and your loved ones. Tom Smith Land and Homes has homes as well as acreage, hunting, and timber properties available throughout Mississippi and the Southeast. Visit TomSmithLandandHomes.com and invest in land and your future today.
What are people saying about Tom's Fried Pies in Richland?
I'm on a diet. I don't want to be down there at Tom's Fried Pies. We had a good time. When I tell you the crust was flaky, I'm talking about buttery. This was nothing like I've ever tasted. Ever. I mean, I've never tasted anything like that, man. It was nice. Atmosphere was nice. Everybody there was nice. Because I'll be back, even though I don't supposed to with my diet. I thoroughly enjoyed myself.
Tom'sFriedPies.com. Tom'sFriedPies.com.
Gift certificates from Dr. Bobby C. Pankey and Associates in Clinton and Richland make great holiday gifts. With an Optical 2000 gift certificate, you can choose from your favorite style and color of glasses or sunglasses you'll enjoy for years to come. From top designers like Kate Spade, Ray-Ban, Michael Kors, Coach, Ralph Lauren, Versace, and more. Get your holiday gift certificate now at Optical 2000 in Clinton and Richland. Click to call a clinic near you at optical-2000.com.
When little Chrissy Everett walked on the tennis courts in 1987, she not only stole our hearts, she set a fashion trend that's even stronger today, the diamond tennis bracelet.
And nobody in Mississippi does diamond tennis bracelets like Juniker's. I'm Corey Ravenstein.
And I'm John Ravenstein, and we are Mississippi's largest fine jeweler with over $1 million in diamond bracelets in stock for you to choose from.
Hundreds of diamond bracelets in dozens of styles with every shaped diamond.
Our selection is jaw-dropping, and we keep diamond tennis bracelets up to 30 carats and more in stock.
All prices from under $2,000 to over $100,000.
We have the perfect diamond bracelet for every woman and every budget at the guaranteed lowest prices in Mississippi.
Juniker Jewelry Company, Mississippi's largest fine jeweler.
Where the score is always love.
Juniker Jewelry Company, Mississippi's direct diamond importer. From anywhere in Mississippi, we're at 1485 Highland Colony Parkway, just south of 463 in beautiful Madison, Mississippi. And visit us online right now at junikerjewelry.com.
Pure Air Consultants offers services on your heating and cooling system. It's time to get your heating system serviced. We offer replacement, service, maintenance agreements. It's important because if you have a gas heating system, it can produce carbon monoxide. So you want to make sure you have your system serviced and cleaned to protect your family. You want to make sure your system is safe to run. You can find us on our website at mypureairconsultants.com, mypureairconsultants.com.
This Christmas, Green Oak has everything you need to make your season magical. We've got the finest live trees, wreaths, and garlands. We can light, flock, and deliver straight to your door. Visit our gift shop for stunning holiday decorations, unique gifts, and handcrafted treasures to complete your festive look. Planning a holiday event? Our custom floral designs will add elegance and cheer to every occasion. Make this Christmas stress-free and beautiful with Green Oak on Old Canton Road in Jackson or at the Township in Ridgeland. And let us help design, nurture, and grow your holiday spirit. Green Oak, your home for the holidays.
The Kim Wayne Show, brought to you by Bill's Creole and State Depot. Now open Thursdays through Sundays from 3 till 9 p.m. on the tracks in downtown Flora.
All right, here's the thing. John was on the line, but I think his parole officer must have showed up, or the CO, and he had to hide his cell phone. I don't know how they get those cell phones in them jails. What's matter of fact, speaking of that, Polo still posting on Facebook. I guess he's got some special job over there. Is he there?
No,
Oh, okay.
he's not. John,
Okay.
call back in.
Yeah. And so this is why if you got all these prisoners posting on Facebook, I'm telling you, there ought to be a way you can put a bag on somebody's head and get them green lighted through Facebook and put some money on their books. Kim, why would you say something like that? Because some of these chomos, some of these people who do these heinous crimes and they go to jail and nothing happened to them. No, there's some folks in there ain't got no money on the commissary who would love to take care of whatever problems you perceive you have. Kim, what are you advocating? I'm not advocating anything. I'm just saying in this age of technology, I think it's just conceivable that at some point they're going to be starting putting bags on people's head using social media. Because if they're letting the prisoners use them, duh, somebody been killing folks like that beforehand or setting up hits and things like that. I'm not encouraging that, but I just can't see how it's not going to happen. Because again, you got broke inmates and you got folks who need to be regulated. That's a heck of a combination. Chris, what else you thinking about as it relates to cybersecurity, the data centers that people need to be concerned with, the whole water thing, the energy thing, etc. It doesn't seem like we're getting our money's worth for that type of investment.
Not at all. But I can tell you who is getting their money's worth out of it, and that's typically the Board of Supervisors. Because I've spoken a number of times before the Madison County Board of Supervisors. I'm sure it's the same way in Hinds County, where you can tell they're in it for themselves. They ain't in it for trying to better, the surrounding area. Yep. We were still doing the battle with Gerald Steen and the other two Democrats that are on our Madison County Board of Supervisors, wanting to put all this commercial traffic right outside my neighborhood. Now, I live in the county. We're probably going to be part of Madison, the city, but I don't remember being asked if I want another grocery store or a gas station or a vape shop or a storage building facility across the street from my house, from my neighborhood. I told them, you want to build something, build a police substation, build a fire department, build a church, build a school. Those things increase my property values, not these things that are going to increase the coffers of these guys on the board of supervisors.
Well, you guys are gonna be hard pressed to maintain the bedroom community with all the rooftops, because the rooftop, you got to have X number of gas stations, and I don't know what that number is, and it's not. I would, if I was a supervisor, I'd be facing the same pushback because people want their quality of life, but I mean, I don't know what the actual answer would be on that. I mean,
you want to know the real reason that Madison, the city, is one of the top 10 cities in the United States, and it's probably the top city in Mississippi. Not they do all these metrics and stuff and rank it, but it's because we don't have any trailers and we don't have any apartment complexes, because people that live in trailers and apartment complexes are transient individuals. They don't get invested into the community. You're stacking people on top of people on top of people. There's depreciation in value in those apartments. There's no apartment complex that gains value over time. It goes down. And you're piping those individuals into our schools. And then we've gotten away from the melting pot society where we said, hey, bring us, you're tired, you're weak, you're poor, all of that. But you've got to become part of the fabric of this United States. You can't come in here and say, I'm going to align everything I've got with Islam up in Minnesota and screw your Constitution, screw your civil rights and all that.
That's right.
We really need the laws passed. And Mississippi could take the lead. Take the lead. Ban it. No Sharia law would ever be allowed in Mississippi. You practice Sharia law in Mississippi, you go to prison.
Yeah.
Just as simple as that.
Yeah. And this whole notion that, okay, it's a religious freedom thing. Well, wait a minute. You're talking about killing people. I'm telling you, the killing of infidels is like John 3:16 to Christians. You're under obligations to do that if you're going to show fidelity to the religion, as it were, to Allah. This is some serious jelly. We can't let them say, "Well, we're just no. You got a religion that says you're going to kill people." We don't do that here in America. That's what I love about President Trump. He's making people come in here, even if they don't like the country, shut the hell up. Don't be telling us you don't like it, because we'll put you out. And that's the attitude I think we need to maintain. The heck with trying to be nice.
Yep.
It's these folks being nice that got us in this. And we don't have anything to apologize for. America has been gracious and kind to everybody. But yeah, we got some folks who come in here and say that, no, what we want is for you to admit that you were wrong. No. That's why I tell the white man, you need to tell all these folks who complain about what your parents and grandparents did. Oh, so what you want is butt kicking 2.0. Keep it up. Bring the pain. So I tell you, white boys, quit looking down at your shoes, straighten up your shoulders, square your shoulders up, straighten your back up, and look straight ahead and let them know, do we have a problem here? Not over there. Do we have a problem right here, Hoss? You say I'm a racist? Okay, so where's your lawyer or where's the boxing gloves? But all this old preamble that we constantly getting, no. You don't know how to do life. And to the black community and to black leadership, quit faking and shaking like you know what you're doing. Humble yourself and ask someone, brother, what's the best way to do this? You see Mary Hawkins doing it up there. She's not denying anybody access to her secrets, and there ain't no secrets. Quit doing stupid stuff. Hello? Folks, we're going to take a break back in 22 hours. Keep your head down, locked and loaded. Run! Save yourselves. 6 o'clock is coming. See you on the radio. Peace.
Kim, thanks for having me on. You got about 30 seconds here before we
we appreciate it, G-Man. So when you gonna be sitting in again?
I have no idea. I just, whenever you guys call, I always, if I get enough heads up, I try to move things around. You can find me out there online at BF Conservative on X. You can find my podcast when it pops up. I'm going to try to get more regular about putting that out there.
Yeah.
I just appreciate the opportunity to get in here and let the people see the master, the true radio strongman of conservatism here in Mississippi.
Strongman. Tomorrow at 11 a.m. right here at WYAB, Matt Bishop in the Full Story.